Okay, I believe we are now live. Buenas tardes, Latinos en Spokane. Espero que se encuentre bien. Seguimos con nuestras entrevistas con candidatos locales para hablar sobre los temas que les impactan a ustedes y nuestra comunidad. Bienvenidos a todos. Vamos a estar haciendo unas preguntas. Ahorita estamos con un candidato para el senador del estado, Marcus Riccelli. Y vamos a estar haciendo unas preguntas. Si ustedes tienen unas preguntas mientras que estamos aquí durante esta entrevista, lo pueden mandar por Facebook y con mucho gusto incluimos sus preguntas. Hi, Marcus. How are you today?
Good. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you for being here with us. And we also have Jorge with us who will be asking questions and Paola. So, yeah. Marcus, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for state senator?
Well, I have been honored to be the state representative from the third district for the last 12 years, where I have worked tirelessly on things like expanding access to healthcare. I'm raising my two kids and my family here in Spokane. I want them to have even more opportunities than I had growing up here. The types of things that I think are important are making sure that everybody can thrive regardless of the zip code they're born in. And for me, some of the things I'm intent on working on is building more affordable housing, making sure that we can expand opportunities for education for all, and that people can have good living wage jobs, so creating jobs, um, making sure that we're improving public safety. And again, those are some of the things that I'll be working on. And I think I have a strong track record working in the legislature. And I'm looking forward to the opportunity to move to the Senate to build upon those that track record of success and use my experience to deliver for our community like I have for the last 12 years.
Thank you.
Gracias. He tenido el honor de ser el representante del Estado por 12 años y lo que quiero estar trabajando ahora es en expandir el acceso al sector salud para todos. Mi familia está aquí en Spokane y yo quiero que mis hijos crezcan teniendo más oportunidades de las que tuve yo. Yo creo que todos, independientemente del código postal donde vengamos, debemos tener acceso al éxito. También quiero trabajar por vivienda accesible y vivienda costable para todos. También expandir la educación y el crear trabajos para todos. Otra de las cosas por las que quiero trabajar es la seguridad pública. Y yo creo que tengo reputación de haber hecho un buen trabajo en la legislatura. Por lo tanto, quiero llevar eso también y llevar ese éxito con mi experiencia al Senado.
Thank you. Gracias, Paola. So we have a few questions that we've gathered from our community. The first one is, what policies and or initiatives do you support to ensure public safety while addressing concerns about police accountability and criminal justice reform?
That's a great question. So first of all, for public safety, I think we need to continue to enhance access to behavioral health, mental health support services. I think we also need to make sure that those struggling and battling with addiction have access to the resources they need to recover. But I also think we need accountability as well. So we need law enforcement to be focusing on crime, and we need mental health and substance use professionals to be focusing on the things that they know how to help folks with. So the policies that I support are jointly providing that access while having the accountability and providing law enforcement tools they need to make sure that our community is safe, because people don't just need to be safe, they need to feel safe in their community no matter where they're at.
Wrong button, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Una de las preguntas que tenemos para ustedes, ¿qué políticas o iniciativas apoya para garantizar la seguridad pública y al mismo tiempo abordar las preocupaciones sobre la responsabilidad policíaca y la reforma de la justicia penal? Yo me quiero enfocar en la seguridad pública. tenemos que continuar en hacer enfoque en los servicios de salud mental. Para las personas que están sufriendo adicción, deben de tener acceso a la recuperación, a la rehabilitación, perdón. La responsabilidad también tiene mucho que ver. Tenemos que asegurarnos que sean responsables los profesionales de salud mental en su área, así como la policía se debe enfocar al crimen. Hay que proveer acceso a las fuerzas de las leyes y las herramientas que se necesitan, porque no solo nos debemos de sentir seguros, sino tenemos que estar seguros a su vez.
Um, Jorge, would you like to ask the next question?
Hi, Marcus. How you doing? Washington faces a growing housing crisis. What measures will you take to ensure affordable housing for all residents, including middle and low-income families?
First and foremost, we need to build more affordable housing. And I support policies to make it easier to zone so that we can have multifamily housing, duplexes, fourplexes, sixplexes, and apartment housing, but also things, I think, smart things like condo liability reform so people can purchase and build equity and then use that equity to start a business or purchase a bigger home as their family grows. So for me, I think we need to do a number of those things. But I also think we need to look at policies like rent stabilization. We can't have these multifamily big corporate entities owning rental housing and mass units and driving up costs and rent in an unsustainable manner. I think it needs to be controlled in a way where folks are still making a profit, but they're not pricing people out. People should not be spending more than 30% of their take-home income on housing. And right now in Spokane, it's very difficult and challenging for working families to afford housing. And that's, for me, as chair of the healthcare committee, I look at social determinants of health, and housing is one of those things, and it's too far out of reach for too many people.
La pregunta que tenemos para ustedes: Washington enfrenta una creciente crisis inmobiliaria. ¿Qué medidas tomará para garantizar viviendas costeables para todos los residentes, incluyendo las familias de ingresos medios y bajos? Primero que nada, hay que construir viviendas costeables. Yo apoyo todas las políticas y todas las leyes que están en cuanto a construir dúplex o de 4 o de 6. O quizá también, perdón, condominios, que estos condominios van a hacer que las personas que los tengan incrementen su plusvalía y puedan empezar un negocio o puedan venderlo conforme su familia vaya creciendo. Hay que estabilizar el costo de las rentas. No es posible que estos condominios multifamiliares sigan siendo los dueños por las mismas personas que controlan los precios, y es normal que tengan ganancias, mas no es posible que las rentas estén tan altas que las personas se tengan que salir. El costo de la renta no debe de ser más del 30% del ingreso que las personas tenemos en nuestra casa. Sin embargo, ahorita en Spokane la situación es muy difícil. Yo, como presidente del Comité de la Salud, noto la importancia de la vivienda en nuestra ciudad.
Gracias, Paola. Yes, we've seen the increase. Well, overall, renting has increased by 30% across the nation. So we are feeling that here in Spokane. So thank you for sharing those specific supports that you would be providing as senator. Our next question is, how do you plan to support small business and economic development, especially within our district here and within District 3?
Well, small businesses are still the number one engine of our economy. And so what I think we need to do is make sure that we have a business-friendly environment, making sure that we're providing opportunities for people to get the kind of skills and education they need to be successful, whether that be in a trade or in a profession. And our small businesses, how we lend, our community lends, our banks and credit union look at people accessing credit to give them that start. I think we need to be a supportive community, and we need to work with our financial institutions to making sure that they have fair ways of lending out dollars so that everybody has a shot for that American dream to build that business from the ground up. So I'll continue to support business-friendly activities, opportunities for people to gain skills, to be provided the wraparound services for their businesses, like through trade associations and through community groups that can provide help with business plan development or supporting with things such as, now I have one employee, how do I provide HR being a small business, etc. And so these are the types of things I think we can be, and government and the community can be doing to help support those folks who are navigating maybe getting a business off the ground or turning their small business into a medium-sized business and then a larger business. I think the other thing is we can need to continue to be supportive of women and minority-owned businesses and making sure that it's a fair playing field, and those that have not been historically given some of these opportunities through our systems are now getting new opportunities to succeed.
La pregunta es, ¿cómo planea apoyar a las pequeñas empresas y el desarrollo económico, especialmente en regiones como el este de Washington, que viene siendo el Distrito 3? Pero antes de la pregunta, perdón, Jennifer decía que sí, que definitivamente la renta ha subido al 30% en toda la nación y nosotros lo sentimos aquí en Spokane. ¿Cómo va él en el Senado a apoyarnos? El candidato Riccelli comenta que los pequeños negocios siguen siendo la gasolina de nuestra economía. Son los que nos empujan. Él va a luchar por un ambiente amigable para que estos negocios tengan educación y las herramientas necesarias, ya sea cualquier profesión a la que se dediquen. También tenemos que hablar de préstamos en la comunidad, ya sea por parte del gobierno o mediante de las uniones de crédito pequeñas. Hay que apoyar estas instituciones financieras para que éstas a su vez apoyen a nuestros ciudadanos. Tenemos que prestar más dinero para poder nosotros construir nuestros pequeños negocios y la oportunidad de obtener estas habilidades para que los negocios pequeños puedan levantarse. Las asociaciones con las que haremos contacto y la comunidad que apoya este desarrollo. Por decir, si un negocio solo tiene un empleado y quiere expandir, ¿cómo vamos a ayudarles nosotros a que tengan recursos humanos? El gobierno puede ayudar. Podemos ayudar a que estos pequeños negocios se hagan un negocio mediano, o si ya es mediano, que se haga un grande. Otra iniciativa es que me gustaría apoyar a las mujeres y a las minorías a las que no se les han dado la oportunidad en el pasado para que sean exitosos.
Gracias, Paola. Yes, thank you for answering those questions. Here we support a lot of ITIN holders within our community who are working, and we hope that whoever gets into office can also continue supporting advocacy for that small business technical assistance and direct support for ITIN holders who are doing a lot of investment here in Washington State. Jorge, I believe you're going to ask the next question.
Yes. Marcus, on climate change, what policies would you support to protect workers and low-income families?
Well, first, I think we should all vote no on the initiative to roll back the Climate Commitment Act. That would blow a significant hole in our budget. It would take away from policies that are being put in place to ensure clean water, to reduce pollution. And out here in Eastern Washington, we certainly know with fire season, we need mitigation to make sure that we're basically not having the smoke concerns and fires ravage our communities. I'm a soccer coach, and we've added a new season out here, unfortunately, and I have to have my players come indoors 2 weeks or 3 weeks of the year, most years, because our world is on fire, and particularly our little corner. So the first thing I would say is please vote no on the initiative to roll back the Climate Commitment Act. Going forward, I think part of it is conserve. We need to look at how we're conserving what we already have, how we're smarter about our energy use, how we're protecting our water. We have a beautiful river that runs through our community and an aquifer, which is, a gold mine for most other areas where their water sources are drying up. We need to protect what we have, and I will continue to not only advance climate policy, that'll ensure future generations um, have a world that is protected and it's livable, but also protect what we have already and make sure that we're not taking we are taking care of what we already have.
Mi pregunta es sobre el cambio climático. ¿Qué políticas apoyaría para proteger a los trabajadores y a las familias de bajo ingreso? Ah, primero que nada, quiero hablar del acto del Climate Commitment Act,
Sí, el compromiso de cambio climático que tenemos en el estado.
compromiso de cambio, las políticas que reducen la contaminación. Nosotros todos sabemos que aquí tenemos una temporada nueva, ¿no? Aparte de las 4 que tenemos, y esa es la de los incendios. Yo soy este, válgame, se me fue la palabra para coach, un entrenador de soccer, de fútbol soccer, y yo lamentablemente tengo que poner a mis muchachos de 2 a 3 semanas en un lugar dentro para poder entrenar debido a esto. Por lo tanto, primero que nada, yo les diría que voten porque no lo quiten. ¿Por qué? Porque no nos vamos a regresar a donde estábamos. Parte de esto es conservar lo que tenemos, la energía que tenemos. Tenemos un río que es una mina de oro. Hay muchos lugares que no tienen acceso al agua o donde el agua se está terminando y nosotros lo tenemos. Hay que proteger lo que ya tenemos y dejarle a las futuras generaciones un lugar en donde puedan vivir.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Marcus. For us, climate change is really looking at how are we going to advocate for the people who are feeling the most impact. So our workers, we do a lot of initiatives to protect agriculture workers and construction workers who are facing the brunt of climate change, whether through extreme heats, through having to have to work even though we have all these types of smoke in the air. And low-income families that are feeling the burden with increased heats, and they don't have enough funds to retrofit their homes or have AC or air purifiers. So for us, climate change is, yes, we need to conserve a lot of the commitment with our nature because we're all intertwined, right? But the work that we do here and we advocate for is really those vulnerable groups that are workers and that are also low-income families.
Gracias. Sí, el cambio climático nosotros lo sentimos mucho, sobre todo por el tipo de trabajadores que tenemos, los de agricultura y de construcción. ¿Por qué? Porque ellos tienen que trabajar independientemente de cómo esté el clima. Ellos están aspirando todo ese humo y hay que trabajar así. Las familias que tienen bajo ingreso no tienen los fondos necesarios para comprar un aire acondicionado o un purificador de aire. ¿Sí? Hay que hablar del compromiso de conservar, pero tenemos que también abogar por todas estas personas.
Jorge, would you like to ask the next question?
Jorge, adelante. Marcus, slow down just a bit for me, please.
You got it.
Oh,
Marcus, the next.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Go on.
The next question is, how do you plan to support labor rights, protect Washington's workers from exploitation, particularly in industries like agriculture and construction?
I've been a long time champion for workers' rights and growing our economy from the middle out and making sure that our working families are treated fairly. When I particularly work a lot with our unions and have earned a lot of their support because they know that when we all come together with a collective voice, we can ensure that important rights are protected. For me, it's my track record. I passed a bill for nurses to ensure meal and rest breaks. I worked with our construction trades to try and pass a bill to end the underground economy where employers are trying to say, employee, you're an independent contractor. I'm telling you where to be. I'm telling you what to do, but I don't want to pay benefits. So I'm going to classify you as an independent contractor. And to me, that is wage theft. We know that workers are being taken advantage of. And when these employers are not paying fairly, we got to blow the whistle because that also takes tax dollars out of our economy. out of our kids' education, etc. The other things that I'm very proud of to do working particularly with a lot of our construction trades and our skilled workforce is to expand apprenticeships. I passed a bill to require apprenticeship utilization on a number of our public projects. And that's just so that we can bring more people into their trades to have good paying jobs and to have the benefits they need and to be, paid living wage for the hard work that they're doing.
Thank you. Oh, I'm in mute. No, I'm not mute. Okay. La pregunta es, ¿cómo planea apoyar los derechos laborales y proteger a los trabajadores de Washington de la explotación, particularmente en industrias como la agricultura? Yo me considero campeón y un campeón de largo plazo en los derechos de los trabajadores. He trabajado grandemente con los sindicatos para apoyarlos y nos hemos dado cuenta que cuando trabajamos juntos hacemos una fuerza para proteger los derechos. Tuve un proyecto de ley que pasé donde las enfermeras tienen que tomar sus descansos para comer. Quiero parar ese modo que se hace o esa economía que se maneja tras bambalinas de la construcción. Y eso es que yo te digo a ti que eres un contratista independiente. Sin embargo, yo te digo qué debes de hacer, cómo hacerlo, dónde estar, pero yo no me hago responsable de nada. Eso no está bien. Eso no es trabajar de una forma justa. Y eso está afectando los impuestos, la economía. ¿Por qué? Porque esos dólares impactan la educación, etcétera. Estoy contento también de poder construir internados en los proyectos de construcción y los proyectos de ley. Esto es en lo que estoy trabajando.
Great, thank you. In 2023, we worked with advocates like ACLU and NOLA to pass the 1332 waiver to open health insurance access to immigrants, regardless of their immigration status. And then in 2024, June of 2024, we launched the Apple Health expansion with a limited state budget. The enrollment was open for 2 days because it was capped, and we were able to get approximately 12,000 people insured under the Apple Health expansion. If elected, how will you support healthcare for immigrants in our state?
Well, I was a champion and as House Healthcare Chair, worked in our budget process to make sure we were delivering on a commitment to ensure people have more access to health insurance and healthcare. That doesn't mean showing up at the emergency room. We know we need to go upstream and make sure people have opportunities to have wellness and primary care and to get their needs met before they become critically a big concern. I'll continue that support. I work part-time for a community health clinic in Spokane, where our position is we see anybody, regardless of ability to pay. I think that everybody has a right, a fundamental right to access to healthcare, and we should continue to move our state in that direction. That's my value base. But for those who might not agree with me, I also say it costs far less money to provide people this access early on and ensure people have access to affordable quality healthcare rather than not.
En el 2023 aprobamos la exención 1332 para abrir el acceso al seguro médico a inmigrantes independientemente de su estatus migratorio. En junio del 2024, lanzamos la expansión de Apple Health con un presupuesto estatal muy limitado. La inscripción solo estuvo abierta durante 2 días y en ese momento pudimos asegurar a aproximadamente 12,000 personas. Si es elegido, ¿cómo apoyará la atención médica para los inmigrantes en nuestro estado? Yo también me considero un campeón en esta área porque cuando estuve en el cuidado de la salud, trabajé para que hubiera acceso a la cobertura médica para las personas. Sabemos cuál es el problema y sabemos que tenemos que ir hacia arriba para hacer los cambios. Yo trabajo medio tiempo en una clínica de la comunidad y yo creo firmemente en que es un derecho que todos tengamos acceso a cuidado de salud. Para los que no están de acuerdo conmigo, yo comento que es mucho más económico dar acceso al salud en las primeras partes, lo más temprano que se pueda, porque después es más costoso.
Muchas gracias. Well, thank you so much. I know we are running out of time. We are exactly at 3:59, and I want to honor our time with you. Thank you so much for allowing us to bring questions to you and for sharing time with us here at our little space with Latinos in Spokane, where we are hoping to be able to encourage everybody to vote, to get registered to vote, and to participate in their rights to vote. And we are bringing as many candidates as possible so that we can share their ideas, their platforms, their intentions for their candidacies, and be able to translate that directly into our language. So thank you so much for your time, Marcus.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias por tu tiempo, Marcus. Yo sé que estamos en ese tiempo exacto, que ya son las 4 y queremos tomar en cuenta tu tiempo, pero te agradecemos el estar aquí hoy porque estamos animando a todos a registrarse para votar o a salir a votar. Estamos trayendo a todos los candidatos que podemos para que compartan sus ideas en nuestra plataforma y poderlos traducirlo a nuestro idioma natal. Gracias por tu tiempo, Marcus.
Yes,
Muchas gracias, Marcus.
I want to share quickly that if anybody wants to get in touch with Marcus Riccelli, their contact information is info@marcusriccelli.com and marcusriccelli.com on the internet. And we will be sharing that information in case we get questions or if anybody wants to reach out. Solo mencioné que vamos a compartir la información si alguien desea contactar a Marcus Riccelli para hacerle más preguntas a fondo. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you. Good luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.